Uh, my name is Dr. Stephen Mark Hayden, and this is one of my videos I'm making to help you better understand the COVID-related illness and some of the issues that come up. COVID disease is caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus, and it is a big political issue which gets a lot of discussion during any type of presidential debates, and it is a big economic issue. But we believe that in a democracy, ideas should be open to debate. Unfortunately, most of the public has not seen debate in public among physicians. Instead, physicians are told to basically get in line and just obey or do whatever the other people tell you to do. Freedom of speech is an important right. So is the freedom to assemble. So is freedom of religion. But as always, if you do not defend your rights, you can expect that other people will take your rights away. And so they will try to say that the emergency of this situation justifies you losing your rights. But just let's take a look and see this one thing about how much truth we're actually being told. Technically, COVID is probably a national security issue. There are some people that say that whoever solves COVID crisis will be rulers of the free world or some other garbage like that. Of course, I don't believe that's true. But certainly it is having a devastating impact on the world economy, and it's being used as an excuse to take away your rights. Some of the people I most respect are John F. Kennedy Jr. and some other websites that are not really well respected by the mainstream. But that's my right. What's more important than my medical degree or my medical background is that I'm a free citizen of the United States. These things that I say are not endorsed by the American Medical Society, the Board of Medical Examiners of any of the states that I'm accredited in. They are also not accredited by the CDC or the FDA. And basically, you as a human being, as a free human being, are free to believe in and do what you want to do. Now, I am not your doctor. You have a doctor, and hopefully he would be your most trusted source of information. However, in a case like this, if your doctor actually is your best friend and he gives you advice, unfortunately, he may be retaliated against. And that's not in his best interest, nor is it in your best interest. But unfortunately, it's not illegal, and these things are done. So when I speak to you today, I want to be candid, but I want to let you know that many of the things that are said here today are conjecture, they're not proven, they're issues of debate, and they're merely scientific opinion. They are not things for you to base your life decisions on, but they are for you to consider in making rational decisions about your future and about the future of this country. We're facing an election soon, and these issues must be considered. So I'm going to give you some food for thought. So let's look at this one issue here without any more waste of your time. BirminghamWatch.org. It would appear, and the title of this is Apparent Failures of Recent Intramuscular Vaccines. Now, have you heard such a candid statement that the recent intramuscular vaccines are failing? I've not really heard such a simple, candid statement on the media. Why not? Don't you deserve to know? Didn't you use your tax money to help pay for some of those studies, some of that research? I think you did. So when things don't work out well, I think you deserve to know. Now, that doesn't mean that the researchers who were researching were not ethical or hardworking or didn't have good intentions, or that the research shouldn't have been funded. But if that is a publicly funded research and it doesn't work out, then in a quote, in quote, free society, You should be able to be informed of those things, especially before a national election. So, let's look at what this says here. Here it is, a public article. The mucosal T-cell response in the respiratory tract is believed to be dependent on the intranasal route of administration. And we believe it has the potential to provide additional protection against COVID-19. Well, that statement is there because, of course, they're doing intranasal mucosal vaccination, and they want to believe that it'll work. And maybe it will work in humans. This is talking about their animal models. But now let's look at the next statement. The induction of a mucosal T-cell response in the lungs has not, N-O-T, been shown to date with the intramuscular administered COVID-19 vaccine candidates. Okay, well, let's stop halfway in that sentence. That means that this T-cell response, as currently, has not been proven that would protect the lungs of these patients that are in the intramuscular vaccination programs that have been tested so far. Wow. Billions of dollars spent, lots of hype, hundreds of millions, or is it multiple billions of dollars of stock sold? All based on anticipation that these wonderful intramuscular vaccinations would be the solution. But so far, they're not producing the necessary protection of the lungs. Have you ever heard that explained by the head of the CDC or the head of the FDA? Yes, I haven't heard it said. I haven't heard that explained. If that statement is true, why has it not been explained and the ramifications of it? Let me give you this little bit of background. Originally, there were about 100 intramuscular vaccinations. Now, for lay people, they're going to wonder, well, what is intramuscular? That means you take a shot and you stick it in your arm. Almost all the vaccines that you're familiar with, like MMR, mumps, measles, when you take your little kid down and he gets his injections, or even a tetanus shot, they're intramuscular. So they go into the muscle. What that means is that all those vaccinations that were based on intramuscular are not necessarily, haven't been proven to provide lung protection. Now, you have been told that several studies have been stopped because of quote, side effects. But were you told that every last intramuscular vaccination program so far has failed to produce an effect? You hadn't been told that, have you? Let's hope that the CDC told all the senators. Let's hope that the CDC told all the governors. I would hope that the CDC, if that's true, would tell all the voters. Is that's what's going to happen? That didn't happen for a reason. You're an American, if you're an American, and you vote. Some people don't think you deserve to know the truth. And that's sad. Because we're supposed to live in a transparent democracy where good government is open government, where things are debated. But when has your physician been able to debate issues in public without fear of retaliation against his license? And okay, I get it. Maybe your favorite doctor that you've gone to for 20 years, maybe he's not a virologist. But the truth be told is he has opinions. And a lot of those opinions would be things that you should know. If he's not able to speak to you candidly, that's not in your best interest. You become the sole source of your information is the CDC. And if the CDC is the sole source of information, then why haven't they discussed that the intramuscular vaccines, what is the current efficacy? Oh, sure, they come out with these little clips. Oh, guess what? Another vaccine has halted trials. And then they'll come out with this other little quip. We expect in the future vaccines to be right around the corner. Now, please tolerate your quarantine and your loss of civil rights a little longer. Is that good government? Is that open government? Is that transparent government? Is that honesty? Is that candor? Is that what the American people deserve? At any rate, I'm not supposed to be a politician. I'm supposed to be a scientist. But this is something that you must think about. Now, if that is the case, what can you do about it? Here's what you can do about it. You can call your senator, your governor, and you yourself can write the CDC and ask, hey, what is the efficacy of protecting the lungs of all the vaccines, and what in 90 words or less has been proved by most of the clinical studies? And if they've spent billions of dollars and had months and months and months to get data, where is the data on humans that an intramuscular vaccine is going to work? Because 9 or 10 months ago, there was other alternatives. There was inoculation, which I proposed. I proposed it to the Department of Homeland Security and the CDC. They weren't interested. They didn't want an oral vaccine. They wanted to go with all their friends in big pharma and big industry and just to do the intramuscular vaccines. Well, guess what? They chose their friends, and so far their friends have not come up with a decent answer. And that is what you need to know. So be sure to contact your governor, your senator, your congressman, and ask them to look at this article and look at that one sentence. Look at that one sentence. And the T-cell response in the lungs has not been shown to date with the intramuscular administered COVID-19 vaccine candidates that are currently in the advanced stages of clinical development. That's very serious implications. You're not being told all the truth, but you probably figured that out a long time ago. Thank you for your attention today. Bye-bye.